Do you go to other talk shows and like, are you filming this right now? Are you really filming a talk show for television right now?
It's a valid question.
All right. So last week we talked about schools and missions and how they incorporate with one another. Today we're going to go kind of the same area, except we're going to broaden it up a little bit. We're still talking about missions. We're talking about how do missions apply to your daily life. So we've got some really good guests for you, some really good people involved in missions, living missionally, to come talk to you about how to do that and incorporating that to your life. Our first guest is probably well known to a lot of you. You've probably seen them a lot. She is everyone's favorite barista under Josh Veitch. Please, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Jennifer Bella. It's muted, dang it! 1718 on the soundboard is what it is. There it is! Wrong one.
Is that a pour over, Josh?
No, this is tea, you idiot. Lesson number 1 learned. Woo! Don't be rude in missions, guys. It's not good. Okay, so Jennifer, how will we start this interview? On a scale of 1 to 10, how much better at your job am I than you?
No.
None? Okay. Not a good start. Not a good start. Moving on. Okay, so missions. Is this a topic near and dear to your heart?
Absolutely.
Why?
It is something that I am passionate about, that God has given me a passion for. It is something that I would probably be lost without, because it's just so much part of my life, because I just have a heart for people and a heart for sharing God with people and the love that and the salvation and the grace that they can get from God.
Is this something you feel can only be practiced overseas?
No.
Okay. Well, that's what we're going to discuss today, guys. Missions here at home. So, Jennifer, how, as in your professional opinion, can we as students participate and help the church in missions to our city?
Well, there's lots of opportunities. You can get involved in missions, involved in your local church. There are all types of ways to do that. It's find something you're passionate about, that God has really given you a heart for, whether it be through music or sports or a homeless ministry or teaching a class, whatever it is that you have a heart for, go and seek that out. In our church alone, we have all of that pretty much right there, already almost in place. There is a homeless ministry in our church. We have a music ministry. We have a Sunday school ministry. We have a ministry, honestly, for senior adults. Go and be just a friend to somebody. That's one way, is just to be in a relationship with people.
So, to be missions, it doesn't have to be like called missions, I guess, but you can, is helping out with these ministries a form of missions?
Absolutely. I believe everyone, when you become a Christian, you are called to go. And the Great Commission tells us that. We are all called to be a missionary, whether it is a full-time service or just in our daily lives.
Okay, so it's not just those who have a heart for missions.
No.
It doesn't make you exempt then.
No.
So, I have a problem though.
Okay.
If I'm in the church and I don't, or I go to help out for ministry, it's probably really hot, I'm sorry. I don't particularly like the people that, one, run this ministry, or two, come to this ministry. So I tried missions, it didn't work for me. So I'm allowed to just tap out and walk away, right?
No. Because you're not there for the people that you're with. You're there to do what God has laid on your heart and to be obedient to that. You're not there for you. You're not there for the people that run the ministry. You're there for the people that you're reaching.
I'm going to find a way out of missions here in a minute. Just Just give me a second. So, I don't like them, and I don't help their ministry. Does that mean that I can just start creating my own ministries and work through them as missions myself?
No.
But why not?
To just go and start your own is not necessarily the way to do it, because we're supposed to be cooperative with our other brothers and sisters in Christ. And it doesn't set a good example for those that you're trying to reach if you're competing or, well, I can do it better. That's not what it's about.
Okay. This is getting uncomfortable. Because these aren't questions I heard from students, they're not mine. So, okay, but what if I'm just a teenager? I'm not a teenager. But surely there's not a lot I can do to help, so that exempts me from missions
No.
and doing ministry.
No.
Freaking joker. So, what is there that I can do as a teenager then to help, according to you?
Well, as a teenager, you may not be able to drive, but you can make sandwiches, you can sort things, you can, if you're involved in your church, you can sing in the choir, you can, if you're old enough, help in a nursery, you can help in the VBS. There's all kinds of things you can do. You can even volunteer places with, if you have permission from your parents. You can go and volunteer at food banks, you can volunteer at shelters, you can volunteer lots of places.
So what you're saying, this is what I'm gathering so far,
Okay.
is that missions isn't just going places, that I can live on missions every day of my life.
Yes.
Oh God. This just got a lot harder.
It's not easy. It's not supposed to be easy.
So I can stop now, right?
No.
Why not? Why not?
Because you're supposed to go and not tell. And it doesn't just say across the sea. You're supposed to start where you live and then go out from there.
Okay.
If you don't start where you live, then you're not going to be an effective missionary or in whatever when you go out further.
So, what advice then would you give me if I'm a kid who doesn't quite know where to start for missions, how to act it out in my life? What advice would you have?
The best thing to do first is to pray. Just really pray about what God is asking you to do and get some direction. And then go and talk to somebody that is older and wiser, not only in age but also in their walk with Christ, so that you can get a perspective about it, and then talk to your youth pastor or the pastor and ask for some direction, some guidance there. Talk to your parents also. That's a really good place to start. And just do a lot of praying about it, and don't just jump off because, oh hey, I feel this nudge. Make sure that you're clear about what God's calling you to do.
Okay. Well, since you've ruined my whole idea of missions, I think we're done here. But thank you.
You're welcome.
Everyone, let's give Jennifer Bella a nice round of applause.